Let's continue the chapter. Now we read up till here that how Sherlock Holmes he hands over his lens to his friend and tells him to find out that how could he find out that the hat belongs to whom. I took the tattered object in my hands. So now narrator says he took the torn hat in his hands and turned it over rather ruefully. Ruefully means like filled with regret. Regretfully, what does he do? He turns the hat upside down. It was a very ordinary black hat of the usual round shape, hard and much the worse for wear. Much the worse for wear means it was in a very bad condition. It was severely worn out hat. So he describes the hat. It was a very simple hat, black colored hat with a usual round shape. It was hard and was of no use for the wearer, as it was completely damaged. The lining had been of red silk. Lining refers to the inner part of the hat was made up of red silk, but was a good deal discolored. Discolored means it had become colorless. There was no maker's name, but as Holmes had remarked, the initials HB were scrawled upon one side. So there was no maker's name on the hat, but HB was scribbled. It was pierced in the brim. Brim means at the border of the hat securer. Okay, at the border of the hat, HB was written. What is a hat securer? Hat securer refers to an elastic which allows a wearer to hold his hat, but the elastic was missing. So that is how the hat was. Okay. For the rest, it was cracked, exceedingly dusty and spotted in several places, although there seemed to have been some attempt to hide the discolored patches by smearing them with ink. It says then the hat was in a very poor state, even the elastic was missing, okay, but it was cracked and very, very dusty state, and it was spotted in several places, and the spots were such that it appeared as if the wearer had tried to hide the discolored patches by covering them with ink. He had applied ink on the discolored patches. I can see nothing. Tell me what you have deduced from this hat. So after examining the hat, these are the words of the narrator. He says that he could not find anything. He could find no clue to the hat. So he questions Holmes that just what you have deduced from this hat. Holmes looked thoughtfully at the hat and said, "The man leads a sedentary life." Children, sedentary means idle life. Okay, and is quite clever. He is middle-aged and is not in good physical condition. His hair is grey and he puts lime cream in it. He was rich but is now no longer so. So these are the observations, these are the deductions made by Holmes. Holmes had a few other such details about the man. I was astounded. Astounding means I was full of wonder. I was amazed that how could Holmes gather all this information? I must be very stupid, Holmes, for I am quite unable to follow you. For example, how did you deduce that he is clever from his hat? Well, the hat is very large, so he must have some brains. Now, this was a logical explanation given by Sherlock Holmes to his friend. He says that the hat is very large sized. So therefore, this man must be having big head with some brains. How do you know he has grey hair and uses lime cream? There is some fine grey hair on the lining of the hat. Therefore, his hair must be grey. So what does he find? Sherlock Holmes finds grey hair on the lining of the hat. Therefore, he concludes that his hair must be grey. There is a fine whiff of lime. Whiff means a slight gust of air, you may just call it smell of lime from the hat, so he must use lime cream. So he deduces that this man must be using a lime cream because that hat gave a smell of lime. Holmes had a logical explanation for each of his deductions. Logical means a sensible. While Sherlock Holmes and I were talking, Peterson rushed into the room. He showed us a beautiful blue diamond that his wife had found in the goose. Children, if you remember, in the previous part we learnt that the goose was getting spoiled, it was going bad, therefore Peterson had decided to cook it. So Peterson rushes into the room of Sherlock Holmes and shows a beautiful blue diamond, that his wife had found in the goose. Sherlock Holmes immediately recognized it as the beautiful gem that had recently been in the news. Sherlock must have read the news, in which he must have got through the news that about the beautiful gem, you can say till now, right? Holmes recalled reading about the theft. He remembered that the news was regarding the theft of the beautiful gem. It had been stolen from Countess of Morcar while she was staying at the Hotel Cosmopolitan. So the theft had taken place in Hotel Cosmopolitan. In this hotel, a Countess of Morcar was staying, and she was the one who owned the beautiful diamond, and it was stolen. A plumber who had come in to set something right in the room had been accused of the theft. What is accused of the theft? Was blamed for the theft. He was held responsible for the theft. So a plumber, who is a plumber? A plumber is a person who repairs taps, pipes, etc. So what happened? A plumber happened to enter the room for some kind of repair work, and he was blamed for the theft of this beautiful diamond. Ryder, this is another character mentioned here, an attendant at the hotel, had given evidence that he had shown the plumber in shortly before the stone went missing. So further they got the information that Ryder, who was an attendant at the hotel, he gave the proof to the police that he was the one who had led the plumber in the room, and shortly after some time they got the news that the diamond was stolen. This countess was very fond of the gem and was offering £1,000 as a reward for its recovery. So this news Sherlock Holmes had already read in the newspaper. You see, Watson, our little deductions have suddenly assumed a much more important and less innocent aspect, said Holmes thoughtfully. Now, here you see, that was a little small matter for them. But you see, slowly and gradually, that little matter took a very important, turnout. So, Holmes says, the question for us to solve now is the sequence of events leading from a rifle jewel case at one end to the crop of a goose in a Tottenham Court Road at the other. He says that now the question before us is that now we have to go through all the sequence of events which has led to the matter from a stolen jewel case to the appearance of a goose in Tottenham Court Road at the other.